what the so-called development in their area through new projects will do to them. Because most of the reports, the EIA reports that are made are paid jobs, and they always hide the truth.
What is the main effect of Pharmacity?
That's what I'm saying. When the EIA report for this Pharmacity is made, I can say I am the only person who has read through it totally and made a critical comments on it. I raised so many queries and comments on it. And when I went for the public hearing, I was not given a chance to speak. After protest, I was given hardly 2 minutes, and the collector says, no, it's enough, now you can. But people who have not even read the document, the entire public hearing is supposed to be around the EIA document. EIA document forms the basis for the public hearing. But people are given half an hour, 1 hour simply because they are from political parties, but they don't understand anything. They keep on saying it is development.
What is the scientific difference?
I tell you, it was a copy-paste job. It was a shabby EIA. Its contents were very poor. They don't reflect the truth. I can tell you, even normally Minister of Environment, whenever you submit a EIA document and complete the process of public hearing,
what was wrong with that?
They automatically clear most of the projects without questions. But this particular project has taken more than 1 year because we have put so many technical objections to it. For example, they initially claimed that they will use gas for boilers, something like that. But then finally, when it was suggested, they said they don't have. Then they changed it to coal. When you have so many coal boilers at the same place, what is the cumulative effect on the air pollution? All the data they have suppressed. It will be very highly polluting. They don't talk about actual pollutants, chemical pollutant emissions. Everybody talks about only national ambient air quality. That is only related to sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides and particulate matter. They don't talk about various solvents, various chemicals that are used in the industry. They invariably come out. They have to be emitted. But there are no standards, and nobody is talking about the cumulative effect of those emissions from so many industries. They didn't even know when they made the proposal what are the total number of industries that are likely to come there. Is it 300, 400, 500, 600? Each report gave a different number. They have not come out with a master plan. What are the plot sizes? What will be there? And what is the pollution that is load? Because you don't even know what is the particular industry that is coming up. So all the pollution loads that are all fictitious figures. You don't know what you are producing. How can you say this is so much is the liquid effluent, so much is the solid waste? So there is no basis for those numbers. Everywhere it is happening. They're just simply fooling the people. You are not strict on those scientific issues, but when a person who is owning the land and he doesn't want to part with it because property is a right under the constitution, and you are taking away the property from them and you want to use all abusive law against them. Because I am also president for Human Rights Forum in Hyderabad city. As a human rights person also, I see this is a lot of injustice. You are taking away their environmental rights, you are taking away their human rights, you are taking away their right to life. How the government can do? The MLA is elected by the people. You should be responsible and answerable to the people. And people need not be answerable to the MLA. They have given you their vote so that you represent them. But you are not representing their interests. You are representing somebody else's interest. I am also asking, if the industries are so much about the development, why don't they buy the land in the market? Why is TSIIC is acting as a broker, taking away land from the small farmers, which has been their livelihood for generations, and giving them, taking at a very small price and making money in that and giving at a cheaper price to the industry? How can they do that? That particular part is the government a broker to the private enterprises? Why the government should do that? Government is for the people. It should represent the people and their interests, not the interests of a few companies which are making business. And what is the guarantee that this business will continue? Today most of the industries are down, sick, and nobody is following any environmental norms, however weak they are also. And once that starts, then the people will not have any life there. It's miserable life because they don't have employment, they cannot do agriculture, they cannot do anything else. They will be turned into coolies. If a farmer becoming a coolie is the model of development that this country proposes, then we are against it. We don't want this kind of development. A development should enhance the freedoms of the people, as Amartya Sen has said. If it doesn't enhance their freedom and better life is not guaranteed, why should they sacrifice what they have? Well, these things, people, the officials don't understand. These IAS and IPS officers who are on the heads of the small farmers, don't they understand these basic things? But they have given up their basic duties. They are acting, they take the salary from the people and they work against the interests of the people. This is the horrible part of our democracy. Okay, thank you.
You are directly originating.